What is up, everybody? Welcome out to our 6 o'clock live stream. I have muted Justin by accident, and let me fix that. There we go. As you can see, wait, talk for me, dude. Yeah, I think I muted you somehow. Ask to unmute. Um, yeah, so as you can see, Justin and I are doing this remote today as the Philadelphia area got a boatload of snow. I said to Justin earlier today, look, man, I did not want to trek in the snow. It actually stopped snowing for a little spell, and then it started back up. So it was a good choice not doing that. Justin is at the shop hanging out. We got
It's
him
one
logged in
fact in the
remotely.
tattoo shop today.
What's that?
It's one fact. It's one fat guy in a tattoo shop today.
Yeah. So thank you, Sarah, for the $5 super chat right off the bat. You rock. Always appreciated. Um, So yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling. We're getting this going. We're making it happen. And you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? So let me hide that real quick. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad you all are hanging out with us tonight. We got a couple different topics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a video I saw the other day that kind of turned me on to this guy. He's called the Albanian Tattoo King. So we're going to look into
Thank
that.
you.
And
Thank you
then
very
we're
much.
also going to talk about Kat Von D. Her copyright case is kind of rearing its ugly head again. Apparently, the guy is deciding he's going to try to go for round two. So we're going to talk about that briefly as well. I don't know. Justin was like, is it a money grab? Is it this? I don't know what the guy's deal is. I think yes. I think it probably is a money grab, but I think that nobody's really talking about that guy anymore. So, what's a good way to bring your name back up into the ethers? What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I don't understand it, to be honest with you. That makes as much sense as anything else. I mean, I guess there's not double jeopardy in civil suits, right? If he can try to sue her again.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we'll get into a little deeper, but he's trying to change the rules, man, and that to me seems a little fakakta. But I think that we all thought this was a done deal, over and done with, and it was whatever. But he's trying to go for an appeal, and we'll get into it in a bit. So, how I got turned on to this Albanian tattoo king guy was I was watching. I don't know if you guys have seen the channel or not. I would say that maybe a couple of you have watched it. It's called Yes Theory. It's on YouTube. I think they got like 14 million subscribers, so I'm gonna probably say that you may have seen at least one or two of their videos. Well, they were traveling to Albania, and Albania, for a quick brief history lesson, was part of Russia at one time. They annexed away from Russia. They became their own country. They had a leader that was completely paranoid that Russia was going to try and to attack them and try to take over Albania again. And the guy put 700,000 bunkers along the border. In the episode on Yes Theory, the people were talking about, what their parents said back in the day about it and blah, blah, blah. And essentially, their parents felt like they were just working to fund the bunkers, which is crazy. That is a lot of bunkers. It's really not a big country. So, what happened now is that leader is gone. They have new government. They're trying to, do their thing. And now there's these 700,000 bunkers that are lined up on the throughout the country. Some of the bunkers wound up on private property. Some of them were left in public spaces. The people that it's like private property, it's now up to you what you want to do with them. Whether you want to use them, you want to, you know, tear them down. It's up to you. They showed the one guy. He lived in Italy for 20 years, and he turned his into like a hayloft. I guess that's what we call it. It's not a loft because it's a bunker, but they were using it to store hay. A
They
lot of
submerged?
what's that?
Are they submerged?
So they kind of stick out of the ground a little bit like a dome. It looks like half a turtle shell, right? And
Like a pillbox?
yeah, so they were saying like some of the people use them as bathrooms. Some of I'm like Jesus. So this guy, he lived in America for 20 years. He got put in prison, spent a bunch of time in prison, and he got deported. He got sent back to Albania, and he learned how to tattoo while he was in prison. So he turned his bunker on his land, I guess, into a tattoo shop. So I'm not going to play the whole Yes Theory version because it would be too long. But I have a little 1 minute jammy that I found, and it's going to be muted because the guy plays music and stuff, and I don't need to be getting a copyright strike. But I figured,
The copyright strike.
yeah, yeah. But you could see it. They did a nice job of putting the wording on the screen, so you'll get to see that. So we'll jump into that real quick. Let me show you that, and we'll go ahead and press play. So you can see this right here is the bunker behind him. He's got the you know tattoo sign on top, and apparently he does artwork and metalworking as well. And he said he learned how to tattoo in prison when he was in prison. So he has his little shop set up, no prices, and there you go. It's free, and if he doesn't like you, it's expensive. He also has no scheduled hours for his shop. He just comes and goes, and if you find him, you find him. If not, if not. Obviously, he's not putting out top tier artwork, but I think outside in these little rural areas, you kind of got to do what you got to do. So, hey, whatever, man, right? I mean, that's pretty low level tattooing right there. But I thought it was kind of cool to bring up to you guys to show you that while Justin and I always talk against kitchen magicians and scratchers and stuff like that, this guy learned how to tattoo in prison, and he took it back to his home country to try to tattoo. And I don't know. The first thing I thought of when I saw this, and again, this is only a short clip that I found. It's not the long, in-depth clip that was on Yes Theory. But the first thing I thought of was, that doesn't look like a super clean environment. But then I was like, well, at least he's wearing rubber gloves. So, I don't know.
I'm trying to think if you were tattooing, if it's made of cement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really difficult to get to like hospital grade clean. You know what I mean? Not impossible, but definitely difficult because it's porous. It's got a rough surface. I
Yeah,
guess
but
if you scrape it, it would.
let's go back to it real quick. I'm actually going to blow this up to make it full screen.
Well, if that sweet pinup girl he did.
That's what I
Oh,
wanted to look at right there. I mean, yeah, uh, you know, dirt floors.
oh, dirt floor. I didn't
It
catch that yet.
Yeah,
Dirt
it
floor, no
definitely
bueno.
looks. Well, maybe it's not dirt floors. It might be cement, but either way, it doesn't look super clean.
Yeah.
So All the guys from Yes Theory got tattoos though, and nobody talked about getting an infection. So I guess that's a plus. His artwork is, you know, beginner level at best, but you know, and Luz just said, "Me too. I learned in Texas prison." Right, but the thing is, there's guys that learned in Texas prisons that wound up being fantastic artists, and then there's people that tattooed in prison that their artwork stayed in prison level artwork. I'm only trying to be fair. Now, all the stuff that he did for the guys on Yes Theory, he was it was all basic designs. It looked kind of almost Nordic with the symbols. There wasn't a lot of depth into it. You were talking about the pinup or whatever. I think that was at the beginning or whatever. But let me see if I can find it. I just, to me, I don't know, man. As much as I don't agree with it, and the work is not anywhere on level of what we see here in the U.S. or whatever. You know, I give the dude credit for, I guess, at least trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Yeah, like here's the this isn't the pinup that you were talking about, Justin, but this is the other one that he had on there.
Oh,
That's
Statue of Liberty.
is that what that is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like Statue of Liberty and Big Ben.
right. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm trying to be as positive as I can about this because kudos for the guy for trying.
I
But
mean, that's some old school spirit. I mean, the fact that he's just out there like in the middle of nowhere making tattoos work for people.
right,
It's like the whole it's like the thing with bagging your machines or using clip cords or when I took the APT course, they said don't use spray bottles, use irrigation bottles. It's kind of like you never want to argue against sterility. You know what I mean? That's not a good look for a tattooer to be like, oh, let's make it less clean.
hmm,
But it's also sometimes think people do go a little overboard in their precautions. Like basic common sense precautions will get the job done. You know what I mean?
right. In there, I mean, like I said, he's at least using um, rubber gloves. I mean, I kind of half expected not to even see that, and I rewound last night, and I was like, okay, at least he's got rubber gloves on. But the floors look a little dingy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, dude's just trying to make it happen the best way he can. It is what it is, I guess.
So when I
Um,
got my gallbladder taken out, right? They're
yeah,
doing a procedure. They're pushing a needle through my liver to get to the gallbladder. Then I look over in the corner of the room and there's like dust in the corner of the room. And I was like, yeah, no, no bueno.
yeah. Well,
You know
you
what I mean?
know,
Like a little bit of dirt. Like, you know how sometimes you get dirt in the corners if you don't deep clean for a little while?
right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, they don't call that hospital Death Valley for nothing.
Ah,
Yeah.
I survived.
Nah, yeah, you did. And it's on in all honesty, it's not that bad of a hospital. It's just, you know, I had a really bad experience there. So,
Yeah.
you know, and that's been the nickname for quite some time. You know, I guess that all that matters is that you didn't get sick. Everything turned out all right. That's the end of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
So,
did get an infection.
what's that?
I did get an infection.
Did you?
Remember, I had to go back?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey man, nothing for nothing. But my mom had that heart valve replaced or put in, whatever you want to call it. She was at one of the most prestigious hospitals in the United States, and she wound up getting a blood infection. So there you go. I mean, it could be anywhere. Drag said you should not tattoo in a dirty bunker. I agree 100%. I was just trying to bring it to light and be like, and the crazy part about that, Drag, is yes, we talked about it tonight, but if you look that up and you saw how many big name YouTubers went there, it would blow your mind. Like, we're not talking about me being this like tiny little 3,000 subscriber channel. We're talking millions, millions of subscribers. And these dudes went there to get tattooed. And I, I don't even know what to say.
So
Whatever, man.
here's a question for you, Buck, and for the people that are watching.
Go ahead.
What's the sketchiest place you ever got tattooed?
I don't know, man. Actually, okay, yeah, yeah. All right. So the very first place that I got tattooed,
Uh
uh,
huh.
that chick Raven Cove or Co, whatever. I've talked about her before. Dude, she had like all kinds of weird witchcrafty kind of knick-knacky shit all over the place, and that place was pretty dusty, dude. It was pretty, yeah, dude. Like, she had been there for a long time and never had anybody come there or come through there with like a cleaning broom or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, so moderator Nikki said at a convention. Yeah, I mean, look, say what you want about that, but you're not in a controlled environment in a convention. They do everything they can to you know cut down on the risks, but you're talking about a, a huge convention with thousands of people walking around and climbing up and down on, I don't know, dude, but that was probably the dingiest, dude. I mean, like, I've for my whole tattoo career, I've always went to professional shops, so I never, went to any kitchen magicians or anything like that. So it's always been pretty clean, pretty sterile. I mean, maybe not the most pristine shops, but for the most part, man, they've all been pretty decent shops. Um, that shop under Eddie's Donuts was a little rough back in the day.
Nice.
We won't say what that is, but yeah, you know. Um,
I mean,
yeah.
I got tattooed. I got tattooed in some sketchy kitchens. I think probably I think I got tattooed with a guitar string machine once. That was pretty sketchy. Yeah.
I mean, look, dude, you go out to people pay big money to go to the islands, right? To get the traditional hand pokes, and you're in a hut with a dirt floor on a bamboo mat, maybe. Dude, those people walk away with that, all right?
Part of that tattooing, part of the purpose of it was if you died, I mean, if you like you had your stomach ruptured, like getting a paya, or if you died of infection, it was kind of considered a you weren't fit.
Right. It's the culling
So
of the herd.
yeah,
But yeah, man,
I
I don't know.
can't read the side. Does anybody have any interesting stories about sketchy places they've been tattooed?
Now the only one that answered so far was Nikki. Said at a convention, and that was it so far. And then Drag just said, if they like the risk, why not? Haha. So yeah, I'm not saying anybody should do it. I'm just saying there was a lot of channels that you know talked about this guy, so I thought it was cool to bring it to your attention to see what you guys thought. Not condoning it at all, but you know, it was worthy of bringing up. So, you want to get into the Kat Von D thing?
Yes, poor little cat Von D.
Yeah, So, yeah, we're gonna get into this. So, what? This is nuts to me. This was posted on January 9th of 2026. So this was only a couple days old. They're talking about a copyright suit over a tattoo of jazz legend Miles Davis has appeals judges calling to overturn the long criticized test an influential appeals court uses to decide how similar an alleged copy is to the original work. So where I'm taking this whole thing, what this is how I understood it from reading it was this guy wasn't successful, so now he's trying to appeal the original case, but he's trying to change how they do the whole assessment at the beginning. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit upheld a jury verdict finding the inked tattoo inked by celebrity artist Kat Von D didn't infringe on the photograph of Davis she traced to create it because the works aren't substantially similar. But two judges issued a rare plea for the circuit to throw out the flawed and standardless test courts in the circuit use. So apparently they have a separate group of people that determine if the claim is substantial or not, which led jurors to decide the works aren't enough alike to find infringement. Those judges were right that the intrinsic test is a dumpster fire and it needs to be redone, said Santa Clara University law professor Eric Goldman. It's really shocking that it's survived as long as it has. The Ninth Circuit for 50 years has used a two-part inquiry to determine substantial similarities. After an intrinsic test that compares portions of the works that are protected by copyright law, it turns to the intrinsic test, a creation unique to the circuit that asks jurors to decide whether a reasonable person would find the total concept and feel of the works substantially similar. The intrinsic test mixes questions of law and fact and can frequently be addressed by a judge, while the vaguely defined intrinsic test is almost always a pure factual determination, the type left to a jury. And on here, they actually have the original photo by Sedlick, and then this is Kat Von D's tattoo. But replacing the intrinsic test may prove tricky. No one similarity test is perfect, Goldman said. I don't believe any. I don't even really know how to reach them in class. Frankly, it's just all vibes. So where I'm going with this is that this guy now is trying to pull apart the process, saying that it's not fair and basically was unfairly treated and wants to get a second dose, a second run at it. Uh,
So a couple things a couple examples of weird copyright things,
okay.
right? So do you remember remember the band Men at Work from the 80s?
I come from the land on under.
Yes. So they used a traditional Australian folk song, the flute part in one of their big hits.
Yeah.
A guy in Australia purchased the rights to the song after they used it,
Okay.
and he was able to sue them retroactively for royalties under Australian copyright law. So when they made the song and they used the part, it was free use because it was old enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when he purchased it, like he was able to, for something he didn't own at the time, he was able to bring suit. Like that was a weird thing. And then John Fogerty, the lead singer of Creedence Clearwater Revival, was sued by the record company for making songs that sounded too much like the band that he sang for. which is
Right.
another like amazing copyright issue. I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
So,
That song, the song, "The Old Man Down the Road,"
mhm.
which he did as a solo artist, he was sued by, I don't know, Warner Brothers Music, saying that it sounded too much like CCR, the band that he was the singer for.
so that's not so that's not necessarily a copyright issue though.
I thought it was copyright.
No. So what that is the band basically CCR was defunct,
Right.
but they still owed like two records on their contract. So if he skates around it, cancels the band, we're no longer a band, but I'm going to be out there as John Fogerty. And now he puts out songs that were sounding exactly like CCR. That's they're saying it's him skating around it, trying to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't know that part. I
Yeah. So
did
that,
know that there's one Neil Young album that he put out specifically to fulfill a contract
right,
that he said is garbage.
dude, they do
He
that
just
all the
made,
time. That's why they do like greatest hits albums and shit like that. That's their way of fulfilling a contract obligation. That counts as a record. There was bands in the day that used to do um, holiday records that
yeah, yeah.
counted as an album, so they could then tick one off the box so they could get out of their contract, right? So Bill O'Connell basically said he's answering your question about a seedy, dirty places. 1982, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Old man John on Bragg Boulevard, tattooed out of a trailer. Everyone drinking, smoking, no gloves. Old John tattooed thousands of soldiers and bikers. At one time, military made it off limits to soldiers stationed at Fort Bragg, but they still went there. Cheap tattoos. And Chris Hawkins said, I think he said they called him Poison John. He was saying that Dana Brunson talked about that guy. Uh, so Bill O'Connell said, Chris, they did call him Poison John. I got a tattoo there twice. Traditional snake for $7 and an elbow spider web that took 4 hours for $12.
Wow, sweet.
4 hours. God damn. Was he hammered? um. Yeah. What? So now what they're trying to do is the circuit's precedent forced the judges to uphold the verdict, even though it's an understatement to say that the tattoo is substantially similar to the photograph. Judge Alan D. Johnstone's occurrence or concurrence said. Judge Kim McLean Wardlow, in a separate concurrence, said the test contradicts and distorts federal copyright law by protecting the general public's spontaneous impression instead of creators' work. The full Ninth Circuit could overrule its precedent if it agrees to rehear the case in bank, but the court seldom grants such requests, taking it up only 15 cases in bank in 2025. So what this dude is trying to do is he's trying to say that this process is flawed and wants it retried. Now
With
you
a new
asked
metric.
about like what the guy is about. 51 years. All right, so the appellate court agreed with the lower court that most of the elements, such as common phrases in isolation, weren't protectable, but said taken together, the cards. So they're talking about an infringement case from 1970 where they were talking about like holiday cards. Photographer Jeffrey Sedlick sues Kat Von D, alleging a free tattoo she inked on her friend infringed his portrait of Davis. The case went to trial in 2022 after the district court for the Central District of California denied Sedlick summary judgment, ruling he failed to articulate the specific similarities between the works. The jury sided with Kat Von D in 2024 and Sedlick appealed. So he's appealing. The appellate judges previewed their concerns during oral arguments in July. The current test washes out the value of copyrights by allowing a jury to reach unreviewable subjective determinations. Creating an alternative ideal test is almost an impossible task, Goldman said, because there's no way to define the standards between substantial similarity and insubstantial similarity in a way that everyone's going to like. So I don't know where this is going
I
to wind up
mean,
going, but old Mr. Sedlec is taking another stab at it.
I
Now,
mean, it is the photo. It's her reproduction of the photo,
right.
right?
She said she changed a couple things here and there. She used it as a reference. But the thing is she didn't trade any commerce for it. So how does that turn into copyright?
Right, because she didn't make any profit.
Right.
And
If
I
she did
understand
that
too
for
that it's
free,
very dangerous. This is something that tattooers should be interested in.
for sure.
I mean, what do you do if what do you do if a customer comes in and wants a copyrighted image, like a sports team logo? They're copyrighted, right?
Yep.
Band logos, they're
Yep.
copyrighted.
Yep. I was just gonna say band logos. So I mean, I guess if you did an exact copy of a band logo, that would be enough.
See, and that's the thing is like, so if someone comes in and wants a traditional rose, I can do a traditional rose 100 different ways. But if they want the Philadelphia Eagles symbol, it's either right or wrong. So you would
Right.
have to, by its very nature, like, you know, uh, you'd have to violate copyright if they're going to be really stringent about it.
So it's going to be interesting to see where this case goes over the next couple days. Or, well, sorry, not days, because this is going to take a while, months, possibly years. I mean, I think that the I don't mean to keep hammering this home, but she did it for free, so there was no commerce traded. So doesn't that kind of go against copyright? Isn't copyright the whole point? Is you're making money off of a copyrighted piece?
Yeah, it sounds to me like he's pissed. You know that he thinks it's celebrity won out because a jury decided like it was a popularity contest. I could see where that might get up somebody's ass. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it seems really way too far to me that he's trying to change the law. It seems extreme.
Right, but if 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 he goes and is successful in that, then that gives him enough validation to possibly win the case. I don't know what he's suing for. I don't know if he's suing for, XM. Obviously, it's got to be some kind of monetary thing.
Well, I mean, I imagine if he could prove if he could prove that part of her celebrity was based, if he wins the copyright case and proves that part of her celebrity was based on that particular tattoo, like that was like a showpiece tattoo for her,
Hmm.
he could go after some of her money, right?
Yeah,
Like you used something of mine without my permission to bolster your career. I want some of your money. You know what I mean?
yeah, but dude, she did that tattoo after she had already retired from tattooing, so like her career was
No,
well
no,
beyond.
I mean, you and I absolutely agree. I'm just, I'm trying to think of what would be his motivation,
Hey, train dorks, who takes care of you?
huh?
I could hear the train in the background. No, no, I get it, but also the fact is that picture's 51 years old, so like that's where I kind of go. Is the dude well beyond his career? His name is no longer mentioned out in the ether. So by suing her, a high, you know, public figure, highly visible figure, it puts my name back in people's mouths for a while. I'd be curious to see how much his sales possibly increased due to that lawsuit.
due to the controversy. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would if I was one of her lawyers, I'd be like, "Well, dude, how much did your sales go up because of this? You obviously, made some kind of financial money off of this for, getting your name back out there." I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm just trying to spitball here, but um, Bill O'Connell said, "Yeah, we were." I asked him if you were banged up. I brought the beer. The spider web was my second ever tattoo. First one was done by Tattoo Lou, Live to Ride, down on Hay Street. Wild days. Uh, that's awesome, Bill. Thank you for sharing that. Irish said, "Did she televise it? That would be money made." I that was no. From what I understood, it was a friend of hers. She did it for free at her shop. I don't think it was part of any web broadcast or any TV show or anything like that. I could be wrong about that, but she might have made like an Instagram reel, maybe. Maybe that's how he found out that she was doing the tattoo. Uh, that's ringing a bell for me. So maybe that's what it was. But it wasn't like it was on a TV show or anything like that. Drag said if nobody brings it to court, then nothing happens. But if there's one who brings it on, there's a problem. Dangerous. There you go. So essentially, you get a Philadelphia Eagles tattoo, post it all over the internet. Eagles get a hair up their ass. They could be like, "Oh, now we're going to sue whoever put that tattoo on you."
So I mean, national tattoo brand. If you have old enough versions of their sheets, they have Batman's, Bugs Bunnies,
Yeah,
Daffy Ducks, Tasmanian Devils on there. But if you have newer versions of their sheets, they were all taken away. All the Harley Davidson stuff.
right,
I think Crow just got big enough. JD Crow just got big enough to where these big companies were noticing it.
right. What's up, North High? What's up, guys? I'm here with Luz Barrera at the machine shop listening to the show. Cool, man. Thanks for joining us. Bill O'Connell with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Let me give that a heart. Awesome. Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, so Irish is saying any recordings of the tattoo, or was it just two buddies at a house? Yeah, from what I remember, I think that there was some, she made a reel and she was doing the tattoo. And then the Sedlick guy noticed that the picture of his picture was hanging behind the dude.
Right.
And that's where he
Mhm.
was saying she was using my picture to do the tattoo. And she said, "Well, I was using it as a reference, but I actually did the tattoo. It's not like you photocopied it with a stencil." You know what I'm saying? Um, and if let's let's go back real quick because I'll show you. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but if I go back here real quick, uh, you can see both. So the original picture is on the left, and her tattoo is on the right. Now,
Well, I can
obviously,
barely tell the difference.
yeah.
No, no, I'm being completely sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I'm like, because I mean, yeah, it's the same pose and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say it's a spitting image by any means. I don't know. It just seems awful weird to me that the dude, is fighting this hard, man, and he's willing to go to bat to try to change how the whole copyright thing. Now, granted, look, maybe the process is a little janky and it's not right or whatever, but you know, I don't know, man. To like go this full bore into it seems a little suspect to me. Yeah, it is a very good tattoo, but Like Justin was saying though, man, this is where you know tattooers need to really be like zoned in on this because this could get real dicey quick, man, for a lot of people. Um, you know, and what's crazy about that is I actually just saw. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There was a video that was just made within the past couple days where it's like a huge controversy that this chick is charging like buku bucks. Yeah, I can't find it now.
Oh,
Charging
the
buku bucks
$3,000 a day girl.
for AI tattoos, and that was the big controversy. So she had AI doing the tattoos, drawing it up for her or whatever, getting them, and then she was doing those tattoos, and then she was charging like crazy money for it. I didn't watch the video, but it was something that I was like, oh, I'll put that on my radar for later to watch, but see what's up. Obviously nobody wants some fake bullshit, but if hear me out, because I don't agree with it. But if something like this were to go through, people are going to have to find more crafty ways to make designs. If everything out there is similar, could get dicey. Or everybody's going to have to go back to doing an old school traditional, American traditional that those, flash sheets have been around for years and years and years. That everybody's dead now and they're not going to put a copyright claim. What do you think?
Uh, yeah, I think it's dangerous because, but I think it's also I don't think it's dangerous to Joe tattooer down the street. Do you know what I mean? If as long as you're not getting too much attention, it seems like it would mostly be an issue for like bigger tattooers where there might be a payday involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
like the super famous, like Ami James, Kat Von D, Ryan Ashley, people like that are like,
who's the guy in Philly that only does the monsters down the Northeast? He only
um,
does he only does monster tattooing.
you talking about the guy Ick Abrams that did my stuff?
No, no, it's a different guy. This guy's got like a 2 year waiting list. But anyways, what he does
The
is he
dude from
takes,
Seance.
I think so. He takes like famous, photos of
Yeah,
iconic monster pictures, like you know, the first time Pinhead appeared, or some of the more iconic Freddy poses, and that's what he tattoos on people, horror tattoos. And what's going to happen? Potentially that's his living. I mean, if are those images copyrightable? If it's something from a movie and not a photograph?
yeah, this is the guy. I thought that's what it was. Hold on, let me show her. I'll show everybody so at least you can see what he Justin's talking about. Share the screen. This guy, he does. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's doing stuff taken directly from the movies,
Right,
and he's making a good living. He's got a long waiting list. That's the guy that would be affected.
Paul
You
Acker.
know what I mean? Acker. Yep,
Yeah,
that's the guy that would be affected because he might be a guy that's if you had a certain kind of mindset, if you were a money grubbing piece of shit, that might be the kind of guy you would go after.
yeah. So Drag
Not
just
me.
said. Drag said I paint everything on Procreate, my own design. There you go. Um, yeah. I mean, look, dude.
Well,
It's going to be the same kind of stuff, you know.
So if I go to a if I go to a tattoo convention and I look at the flash that people are selling, like I mean, I've been looking at flash images, whether it's like Japanese or traditional or new school stuff. I've been looking at that stuff for more than 25 years, and there's only so many things you can do with any of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
After a certain point, like I'll see a set of traditional tattoo flash, and it's even if it's really good, if it's really on point, you know, it's another set of traditional tattoo flash or Japanese. You know, those art forms have been explored and perfected. You know what I mean? So how is there any after a certain point? How is there any plagiarism unless it's a custom piece, which has
Yeah.
happened to me. Yeah. I've had my custom work tattooed by other people that found it online and tattooed my designs. Sort of
Interesting.
took it as a compliment.
Yeah. I mean, so right now I'm in the final stages of editing Jojo Ackerman's interview, and Jojo studied extensively doing like Japanese, like went over to Japan. I mean, he was really tight with Junie and Bill Salmon,
Hmm.
and they introduced him to some legendary people over there in Japan. And he said that he wanted to really focus on that stuff for a while, and then he realized that like he was never going to be exact. And he's like, now I do my own style of a combination of like American and Japanese. So, um, that's what it's going to probably have to turn into is where yeah, you're taking traditional designs, but you put your own flavor to it. Um,
So I saw a thing by Horiyoshi 3 one time where he was talking about the process of a tattoo artist. You know, and he said, you know, in his opinion, first you learn the designs. Like first you learn how to make the designs that have been made, and then after that you personalize them and you improve them. You learn the art form, then you improve the art form. Like I used to work with this guy. He did terrible finger waves, like terrible finger waves. And I'd say, yo, man, those finger waves look like ass. And he did the whole, well, they're my style of finger wave. No, they're just terrible. You're not trying to do a unique style of finger wave. You just don't know how to draw them. You know what I mean?
right,
Too many times people hide behind that. I think, oh, it's my style.
right.
You know
But
what I mean?
if you're starting to get into the territory of where things are going to be copyright claims all over God's creation, you're going to have to do it in your own style
Yeah, if you're big enough to get noticed.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's plenty of street shop guys that are never going to get noticed like that. Could bang out copyrighted work left and right. Nobody will probably even bat an eyelash.
This is one of the things that makes me grateful that I'm not 20, that I'm 54. You know what I mean? There are things in this. There are things. Not to get into the old guy, young guy thing or whatever, but there are things within tattooing now where I'm grateful that you know, I'm 54.
You're
I
over the
only have
hill.
so many. No, I only have so many years left in me. Like when I was 20, I potentially had 40 years, 45 years of tattooing in me. I don't
What's
have
up,
40
Scott?
years now.
Right, right. No, I get you. I get you. Now,
Goddamn kids.
yeah. I mean, what do you do at that point as you get older and you can't tattoo anymore?
What do I do? Just keep tattooing. Just lower my prices.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's old guys that really just can't tattoo anymore, and they, sell flash and try to, different swings at stuff that are still kind of tattoo centric.
I mean, I have a couple other things I could do, like if my hands go or something like that. There's a couple other ways I could make money,
Yeah, because
but
that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, man, is not only your hands but your back, you know, start to go,
your
um,
eyes.
your
I didn't
eyes.
wear these when I started tattooing.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I mean that's a whole nother thing, right? That was one of the things, like when I was talking with Eric Perfect, and he was complaining about his back all the time. He jacked his back up pretty good, and now he
Yeah,
was saying like he struggles now, like from hunching. He starts to do any type of like longer tattoo, and he's cooked for like the whole next day because his back hurts so bad. And I'm
I mean,
like,
one time at the military base, I tattooed for 17 hours in a row. I could never in a million years do that today. I mean, it was a long time then, but today it would be impossible
right. Well,
without
and
any
I think,
physical assistance.
yeah, I mean, there's now a market that's kind of popped up over the past couple years where they're, um, you know, ex tattooers are selling better stools, better tables, you know, trying to, you know, put out those things to say, hey, you younger guys, girls that are tattooing, your back, your hands, they're not going to last forever. So take care of it now while you can, and you'll get a little bit longer, longevity out of your career. There was the one guy that I talked to at the Reno convention, and we did a quick live stream or whatever. That was his thing, dude. It was like he designed a you know table, automatic table that would go up and down and all that stuff. So this way, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about some of that stuff. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
doing all right, Scott. Glad to hear that you're up and running, man. I know I talked to you on Instagram last week or whatever. Scott's been dealing with pneumonia pretty bad. Um, Yeah, that's all good,
yeah.
dude. He hits me up almost every Wednesday. He's like, "God damn it, I missed it again." I'm like, "It's all good, dude." This week, man, on Wednesday night, I'm actually gonna do an episode on Olive Oatman. She got pretty popular in the late 1800s to early 1900s as being a tattooed female. Her backstory is pretty unique, and it should be a pretty cool Wednesday night live stream where we talk about a little history. It's a little deeper than just tattooing, but it'll be pretty cool.
Now I'm not going to do any spoilers, but what's sort of fascinating about her is that things that other tattooers claimed happened to them actually happened to her.
Yeah, so that's one of the main points that I'm going to talk about on Wednesday night. Um, you know, it's a sad, tragic story, but
Yeah.
she did her best to make a living off of that after the fact. But you know, it should be a good episode on Wednesday night. So Drag said, then I sit in my garden and grow veggies and walk with my donkey the whole day. Dude, you have a donkey? I'm jealous, dude. Although,
I have a moon hippo.
yeah. I
I have a little moon dang.
dude, when I was in Arizona, man, we were traveling this back road to go to where this like oasis. Back in the day, like presidents and stuff used to go there because there were like these hot spas, and dude, I came barreling around the corner, dude, and there was a bunch of donkeys on the road because they got wild burro out there.
Burrow.
Yeah, and almost blasted one with my truck, man. About shit my pants.
Dude, that would, yeah. I mean, I've hit deer. Well, a deer hit me one time, and that's not a huge animal, and he like crushed my quarter panel. So I can't even imagine what hitting a donkey would do.
Dude, one time when I was a kid, I was sleeping in the back seat. We were boogieing down the turnpike, man. We came down here to visit, and we were going back to Pittsburgh. Blowing down the turnpike, my mom was driving. I woke up to crash, bam, bam, and my mom and dad fucking in the front. Dude, my mom hit a deer, and when it went up, it hit the windshield and smashed the windshield in, and then
Jesus.
like did the old roll off the back. And when I got up, I sat up and I looked, and the deer got up, looked around, and ran off in the woods. Now I guarantee that deer died. But man, did he just do some massive, massive damage to the car. And my mom was all like, wee, wee. My dad was like, look at the goddamn car. um, yes, I have a donkey. All right. That's awesome.
I mean,
Scott,
I got all kinds of questions now.
about donkeys?
Yeah, about having like, where do you keep it?
So there's actually a town out in um, Arizona. I think it is actually Oatman. It's either Oatman or Winkleman. I can't remember the name of the town. But
Winkleman?
they got wild donkeys roaming all over the place. Like I was watching this guy. He did the whole Route 66, right? And he stopped there and he was eating at a diner or whatever, a little restaurant on Main Street, and a donkey was kicking the door, trying to get the people to like open the door to give him like apples and snacks and stuff. And he was
Nice.
like, Kingman, there you go. And the dude was like, wait, does this happen all? And she's like, all the time. He usually shows up around noon looking for some kind of apple or something. I'm like, I can't even fathom. I had a BLM Colorado Wild Mustang for 18 years. I lost him 2 years ago, this February 6th. He was almost 27 years old. Holy shit. I didn't know horses lived that long. I mean, I'm not really up on my stuff, but
Not a horse guy?
no, I mean, I'm fat. Fat people shouldn't be riding horses. That's torture.
What, do the horses look at you like they look at me? Like, don't you fucking do it.
Right?
Don't you do it.
Dude, it would have to be like a goddamn gargantuan Clydesdale for me to even
Like a
consider
draft
it.
horse.
Yeah, dude. No
Nice.
way. I wouldn't torture a poor animal like that and be like, "All right, dude, I'm going to get on your back now." That's what like you see the people in like Jamaica and stuff that do the horseback on the beach thing, and then fat broads are all getting on there like that, dude. Come on, man. Don't be torturing that poor animal. Yeah, so I don't know a lot about horses other than you feed them apples and carrots and they're pretty happy. And they're like their nose pet. That's it. That's about it. I'm sorry to hear about your horse, Bill, but that's crazy. I didn't know horses live that long. I guess that's why they used them for transportation in the Wild Wild West. Get a lot of miles out of a horse. But yeah, man. So Wednesday night should be a good, cool little episode. Um, Donkey walking rocks horses are scary and expensive. I'll take iron horses. Laugh my ass off. That's from a one-legged mofo that lost his leg on iron. There you go. I, you know, I, that's the only horse I'll get on is the iron horse,
Yep.
and I don't do much of that these days either. So, what are you gonna do? I'll get back. I'll get back to riding. Drag said, "Oh yeah,
You
the
ever see
donkey
that
loves carrots and apples." There you go.
you ever see that woman on she rides and she's on YouTube and she's like in her shorts. She's like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't mean to fight with you. but she goes, uh, she goes, electric guides and street glides, geezer wagons. I thought, maybe. I don't mean to fight with you, but geezer wagons. But
Yeah, man. Well,
she insulted Dinah's too. So
you
the
know what,
Dinah
man?
bro.
Uh, when I hear people make comments like that, and then I tell them how many miles I used to ride in a year, and I'd be like, yeah, go ahead and try that on your Sportster, dude. Uh, Bill O'Connell said in America the average is 25 to 30. I used to do equine massages. I have met
Equine.
horses in their 30s and a couple that were 40 years old. That's a very rare though. Jesus, dude, 40 years old. Okay. See, man, you learn something new here all the time. It
Absolutely.
doesn't even have to do with tattooing. It could be horses. You know, I told everybody Wednesday night about the cemetery where the guy was breaking into, and they released more names on the list again today. So I was flipping through that to see. I think I'm pretty good, man. I don't think I have to worry about it, but it's just crazy, man. That and also that video you showed me is making its rounds on the internet, by the way. So
The cop searching the locker.
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Uh,
Holy shit! Is that a pacemaker?
yeah, I knew a woman who had the oldest donkey on record at the time. The donkey was 67 years old. Jesus Christ! Horses
Do
lasted longer than people,
you think the donkey was like, "Kill me,
right?
kill me"?
I can't take it no more. Mondo, good to see you, brother. Uh, yeah, man. And you think about them, like the donkeys and shit that in Arizona, right? That do the Grand Canyon, and they're hoofing gear up and down that freaking trail all day. Phew, dude. But I guess it's what they're bred for. But I don't know, man. Um, just wanted to do a quick reminder that we have some conventions coming up. The first one will be next weekend at Philly, January 23rd through 25th at the PA Convention Center, Villain Arts, Philadelphia Tattoo Arts Festival. I will be there on Saturday. I already hit up a bunch of people that I plan on talking to just to say what's up. And then in March, March 20th through 22nd, Skindustry 17th annual Tattoo Expo. I will be there for the full weekend for that as well. Dandy Dick, anybody who hasn't left
I
a
might.
like should do so. I appreciate that, Dandy Dick. Awesome. Thank you, man. Um,
I always say I'm not going to go to the Villain Arts Convention, and I always break down.
yeah, well, it's our local convention, dude. It's gotta, as crazy as it is and as big as it is, you know,
What was it? 900 tattooers the one year.
yeah, it was something crazy like that last year. But there's a bunch
Yeah.
of people I want to see this year, and I'll be hanging out with RC in his booth. So at least I got a place to sit down this year. Uh, nah, man, it's all good, dude. No need to apologize, man. We get it. Times are tough right now, dude. People got to work. This isn't the most optimal time to do live stream, but it's the best time that works out for me and Justin. So we get it. All good, my brother. It's still. I knew it was coming, man. It's still on talk that Otzi, sorry, get in a grave too, but the science not give him free. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there, Drake. Jesus, man. But yeah, man. So next Saturday I'll be down at the convention. I don't know if you want to go or not, Justin. I know you got to work and stuff, so it's up to you.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm
think
not
the
a
old lady wants to go.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's so goddamn big, dude. You get like halfway through and you're just like, bro, I'm done. I'm like, here's the thing, is they've gotten so big that after you've made it through 3 or 4 rows, it's kind of like the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Where,
I would rather go to a convention of like 150 good artists than 800 people doing sort of the same thing. I'm not saying they're bad artists in Philly. I'm just saying there's a lot of them. Some of them are really, really good. Some of them are they're just tattooing.
yeah,
But I
Scott,
mean, like when we
God,
went to the New York convention, it was like every booth was a heavy hitter, man. That's the kind of convention I like to go to.
yeah, that was an insane convention, man. Scott said, I love Troy shows once every 10 years, otherwise way too big. I can't make it all the way around. The big shows, how I like to go visiting. Yeah, see, so that's typically what I do for those big shows is I try to find out on the map where everybody is that I want to go see. I'll hit them, and then if I got enough juice in the tank, man, I'll walk around a little bit more. But to be fair, you know, last year I missed a bunch of people I wanted to see because I just was like, all right, I'm done. My fat
So
ass needs it.
every year, Buck and I joke that we're going to set up a booth of nothing but chairs and chargers, and let make people pay to sit down.
I'm doing it, man. I'm telling you.
It's a good idea. It's a really good idea, but we'd only be able to do it once because once Troy saw it make money, that'd be it.
Danny, Dandy Dick said we're actually picking up in here. Thank God. Yeah, man. It's we've been getting some pretty decent crowds on Sunday nights. Danny Dick said, "Man, I can't wait to jump or to bump into jump. Can't wait to bump into you guys at one. I'll be doing State Street Tattoo Festival in Bristol, Virginia in May, and a few up in West Virginia this year. Hope business is picking up for you guys as well." State Street Tattoo Festival in Bristol, Virginia. I'll have to look into that one, dude. I know I'm going to be down in Roanoke, Virginia this year for the Heritage Arts Tattoo Show. I'm definitely doing that this year. I already talked to the guy that runs that, so I'll definitely be down there for that. I don't know if that's close to you or not. Scott said, "Hell, brother, I like seeing everyone. The madam makes me have a handler." Yeah, man, it's you know, I think that Justin and I, when we first started this, we were just happy to have one or two people. We were like, "Oh man, cool, somebody tuned in." But though after a while, man, you put a lot of work and effort into this stuff. You're like, "Man, I'd like to get more people in here." But the one cool thing that's turned out with this whole thing, with this live stream thing, is the community that's been built, man, with like regulars that we see all the time, and you know, Justin talks to some people outside of here. I talk to people outside of here, and it just turned into a really cool community, dude. And to be fair, I mean, I think that's just as important as the amount of subscribers and shit that you have. Knowing that you have people that are like diehard, always here, always gonna hang out, always gonna add to the conversation, man. That's super important, especially when you're
It
doing
is
stuff like this.
important.
Randerson will be in Bristol, and yes, I'll be at Roanoke. That's about an hour from me. So there you go, dude. You can run into me there, Dandy Dick. I'll make sure that I have shirts and stickers and stuff for that convention. I'm not gonna have any stickers this weekend though. Yeah, I don't think I have any left, and I doubt I can get them made by the Saturday. So I do like to give out cards and stickers while I'm doing that because at the beginning I was trying to do interviews all the time, and you know that worked in somewhat, I guess. But history stuff seems to do a lot better. It is super important, Scott, because you know what? The community is what's going to keep the thing going. The community is going to be the ones that are going to spread the word about your channel. They're going to talk to their friends who are like-minded individuals that like tattooing. And they're going to be like, hey, man, you should go check out Tattoos in Review. Or, hey, man, on Sunday nights, you should check out these two dudes that do a live stream. And that's how it works, man. Back in the day, YouTube used to be more about like you needed to have like 1 million subscribers and da 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 da, which would be nice. Don't get me wrong, because the numbers work in your favor. But now it seems that the community aspect is much more important than it ever was for YouTube, which is cool. Like Twitch kind of started that with their. I'm not a big Twitch person, but Twitch was the one that had the community aspect of it first. Those streamers were streaming all the time. They had like their community that showed up in Discord and all that shit. I don't do any of that stuff, dude. Discord is like, it's like me trying Chinese, dude. Like it doesn't, I don't get it. But you know, I'm cool with what we got here, what we're doing here. Cool with what we do
Absolutely.
on Sunday nights. That's why Justin and I don't like to miss our live stream nights, and we do shit like this tonight, where we're in separate locations, trying to make it work just because, weather got in the way today. But we don't want to cancel on anybody and be like, hey, man, I'm not going to show up tonight. So, and that was one of the things I said to Justin. I go, if we agree to do this, then we got to fight tooth and nail to make sure that we show up every Sunday no matter what. Now, there's obviously times where shit gets canceled or whatever because, traveling and stuff like that, or, power outages the one time. We've had a couple bumps in the road, but for the most part, we hang out every Sunday night. Dandy Dick said, you guys are very unique. One of my favorite channels. I hope it stays the same. I don't always catch the lives, but I subscribe and watch every video you two post. It's just the vibe. Or channel for old school street shop guys. There you go.
Thank you.
Man, and that's why we post up the videos after the live streams, because we know people watch them after the fact too. So, but all right, man. I think we rambled enough and waffled along tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday if you can make it. If not, it's cool. The video will be posted later. 7:30 on Wednesday night. We'll be doing the Olive Oatman story. We'll talk about that unique story. And hopefully you all have a safe, happy week. And look out for the JoJo Ackerman video, which will be probably Thursday or Friday of this week. So peace out. Have a good night,
Take
everybody.
it easy.